For millions of people, climate change is not a future threat. It is already at the door, in the streets, in schools, and in everyday life. Growing up in Nigeria, Amara Nwuneli was only 12 when she first witnessed the devastating impact extreme weather could inflict on vulnerable communities. Seasonal flooding tore through her city, destroying homes and infrastructure, emptying classrooms, and leaving entire neighborhoods at risk. Rather than simply accepting this reality, Amara began to ask questions. Why were certain communities repeatedly exposed to the worst impacts of climate change? And why were young people, those who would inherit these consequences, so rarely included in decisions about their own environments?
So as a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, some of the things that prompted me to really look at climate advocacy as a big issue that I needed to fight for was just the smaller things. Looking outside the window when I was driving on the road with my family and seeing people who were stuck in rain. And when it was really flooded and the car was not even able to move around, I was like, what happens to these people who live on the road when there's heavy rainfall, when there's big flooding? What happens to their homes, their communities? Asking questions of how do we ensure this does not happen again? How do we know that we're safe?
Over time, she came to believe that climate action must be local, practical, and rooted in everyday life. This belief led her to found Preserve Our Roots, a youth-led initiative focused on raising awareness about climate change, social disparities, and inequality.
Focusing on Preserve Our Roots as an NGO, it is a by youth for youth climate NGO and social activism movement that works on mobilizing youth action on climate change and other civic action issues through three main pillars. Our first pillar is climate storytelling, making sure they see themselves in the crisis. The second pillar is education, through outreach initiatives in schools, orphanages, and local communities hotspots. We ensure that they know what is going on and are informed. Now, our third pillar is grassroots innovations. At Preserve Our Roots on the ground, we ensure that people, especially youth, feel like their work is actually making impact. We do tree cutting initiatives, beach cleanups, marches and protests and walks to raise awareness about climate change. We have done other things like raising funds to rebuild 2 schools that were torn down due to floods, and also go out into our community to ensure that we speak to people on the ground who are doing the daily work to fight for climate change and ensure that they understand what really is at stake and how they can actually take action.
One such example is the Green Sustainability Park, a first-of-its-kind grassroots initiative that transformed and degraded plot of land in Lagos into a vibrant, climate-resilient green space using mostly recycled materials. Amara also sees storytelling as an essential part of climate action and has used her voice and the voices of those affected by climate change to reach audiences around the world.
So really practical things that we did on that lens was making those stories, short films and posts, and having different online webinars where we spoke to different youth across West Africa and the world about climate change.
Through her documentary, The Heat of Change, she highlights how climate change is experienced across African communities, centering lived realities rather than abstract statistics. Written and directed by Amara herself, the film reflects her broader approach, making global issues human, accessible, and grounded in every experience.
And so The Heat of Change was built on that want to push the message forward of climate change, but also to connect people's stories individually, the audience, the viewer, to what the crisis is and to how they can actually take action.
By educating youth to solve their own problems, amplifying unheard voices, and reclaiming forgotten spaces, she shows that the future is not something we wait for, it is something we build together.
So let us embark on this journey together, armed with the knowledge that our choices, no matter how small, can spark a wave of change.